Tom Uvaas is here. We're talking Otter boys swimming and diving. You kind of started this whole role, last weekend with that 5th place finish in the state, Tom, and what a great accomplishment for your guys.
Before we talk about swimming, I just want to congratulate the girls on really a tremendous game last night. I was in the crowd, and it's fun to watch excellence. I really mean that. And we saw some excellence last night. I mean that. I've only been to 2 of your games, and that really was a fantastic show, and I'm very proud of you, and our team will be pulling for you. Everyone's going to be pulling for you, and I just hope that you just really enjoy the moment, the celebrations, and all the blessings you have. So congratulations.
Yeah, special week ahead. That state tournament week will be a blast. They've already got a ton of memories that they've made as the Otters, but they've got more to come here this week. So
good time.
Well, 5th in the state is pretty impressive, Tom. You've got some stiff competition there, and with the team, last year you were state champs, but you didn't have the depth you had last year. But boy, the guys that you got down there, 6 events, you had all state performances.
Jeff Moon used the term, or I think maybe it was Coach Ron, the perfect storm, whatever, and really it was a perfect season for us. We had really thought about this back in the first week of the season. We had a group of boys we thought could have a chance of going to state and doing well at state, and so we kind of patterned the whole season for that. And you always hope things work out, and they stayed healthy, they performed well, they believed in themselves, and they really swam very, very well. And diving, we can't say enough about diving. This is really the first year we've ever had 2 divers ever scored at state meet in the history of our program, which is really, for a lot of programs, it's very unusual because only 4 divers qualify in a section. So it's not in swimming, there's state cut time. So you could get a number of people in an event, but in diving, it's top 4. And there's 14 teams in diving in sections, so to have 2 of them even make it to state is incredible. And then have 2 scores, even icing on the cake.
Yeah, talk about those 2 divers for a minute, because you have Kyle Rust, who had just a great senior year. He was really focused on his senior year. And then Michael Osnes, who has been there 2 years in a row and has a senior year remaining and could be the first Otter to ever go to 3 state meets as a diver. So a little different type of divers there.
Well, we take each year as it comes. But, again, Kyle's dream and goal was to make it to state, and he made it there. And, he basically, if you really watch the diving, January was probably a better month for him diving-wise because he's more consistent. He dove the best he could at state. I was really happy that at least his last dive, the 11th dive, he really hit just perfect. And that was really his last high school dive. And Michael has a lot of talent. And Michael really enjoys tense, high competitive moments. And he really dove very well at sections, really focused. And then, of course, state he did very well. The competition is very close, and all you need is 1 dive to be a little bit off. But I was very proud of their resilience. And, of course, Coach Harwell has done just an amazing job with the type of diving equipment we have. We don't have any trampolines. We have no, we talked about this before, we have no belts for these kids to work on twist dives. Basically, it's the faith of the coach telling you when to kick out, and he does a beautiful job.
Relays. You had all 3 of your relays down there. If you're trying to compete for a top 5 finish at a state meet, that relay scoring is so vital.
Yeah, it's really critical. And again, we'll go back to sections. Our goal for sections was to make it to state, and you can make either by time cut or by place top 4. We could really care less if we won a relay or not, and they swam very solid, and their starts were very measured. And then at state, we picked it up just a little bit, and we moved up our positions. And I think somebody mentioned it's the first time we ever had 3 relays place, I believe, 2 5ths and a 6th or something like that.
Right.
And because before that we had an 8th, and I believe we had a 5th and a 6th too, or something like that. So that's a very solid core that did a great job.
Jake Fisher anchored every one of those relays, and that's, I'm sure Jake could have been down there in a couple of individual events. He was down there in one individual event, and then was all-state in that event in the 100 free. But what a great, consistent anchor to have out there to rely on.
It's a good way to end your senior year, for swimming at least, because Jake's goal was to do very well in the 100 freestyle. And again, it goes back to our preparation about state. We could have put Jake in the 200 freestyle for sections, and he would have scored well in section meet. I don't know if he would even place at state because it's such a fast field. But he decided to go 3 relays because it'd be good for the team and sacrifice a few points for himself. and again, it just worked out great. The 4 and freestyle relay, he split a 47, which is a fantastic split time for him. But he really he swam his best times ever for the whole year, and I think career best times. And now he's in position, if he likes to swim in college, he'll be in position to hopefully get a nice offer somewhere.
Well, whoever would get him would certainly be getting a quality young man and someone who will help their program.
Way beyond swimming. He is a quality young man plus. Yeah.
Dominic Jones, one of your captains, he had an all-state performance also as he finished 7th in the 100 breaststroke.
Yeah. Well, he's a guy that has this fantastic smile, and he went to the state meet to really enjoy it. I mean, I don't think he had a lot of butterflies. I think he just said, I'm going to do everything I can to really enjoy the moment and see what I can do. And so every time on the deck, he had this great big smile on his face, and he came out at 53, and he swam his best time by 0.3 of a second. He didn't make top 16. Great smile on his face. He said, it was a fun race. I really enjoyed it. Of course, the breaststroke, a little blessing there. He qualified 8th and moved to 7th place, but what a fast field, a 1-double old time. And then, of course, his relays were magnificent. He had great splits and solid starts. He leads that 200 freestyle relay. He just pops right up and just ran on top of it. And, this is a very fast field. We should mention that the A meet this year and double A meet, they're getting more even. There's a lot of crossover swimming. People are moving back and forth with different programs. Brecken, St. Thomas is incredible. Richfield has really picked it up. It's been fun to watch how the A division has improved so much in swimming time-wise.
You had a couple of sophomores who really stepped up here at state meet time and just had tremendous progress through the year. Joe Kitzman had a tremendous state meet for you.
Yeah, he's got a gift. Underwater, he's a pretty amazing young man, and a lot of people took notice right away that he'll stay underwater for about 10 yards, which the max he can do is about, I believe, 18 yards. So he's pretty close to the measure there, but he pops right up and really goes. He's got great lungs. He must have a great max VO2, but he really swam very well, very solid. And the backstroke, he won the consolation by a huge amount. Drop time there. The fly has been incredible. His times, he's real close to knocking on the door for the school record, and how solid he's been all season. I mean, he's taken a lot of first place for us in dual mates and has had just a great year. 4th in the state and the fly, and that was a tough event. Oh, yeah, and fast field is very, very good. Yeah.
How about Cal Moritzen in the 200 IM? There's another sophomore doing it for you.
Well, the Friday was kind of a scary time for him because it's hard to be there. You haven't been there before. It's just a sophomore, and then he got much more relaxed after that because he felt really comfortable in the water on Saturday. And I said, hey, IM, just see what you can do. Just go for a nice time. So he does a 2:02, drops 3 seconds, which is tremendous. But the relays I was so impressed with. His freestyle is amazing. He's got a very strong freestyle. He swam a 21-something in the 200 free relay, and then he led off in the 400 free relay with a 48.9, I believe, or something like that, which is a fantastic time for him, and great smile on his face. Anytime we get Cal to smile, it's a plus.
Well, and one of the amazing things, I know we've talked about this many times, but here you are on the last day of the season possible in your event, in your sport, and you're still dropping time, Tom. These guys are still coming down. You've had them trained, tapered just perfectly if they can turn in an event like that on their final day.
Well, there's a lot of things to it. The preparation is really important. The athlete has to believe in himself. I mean, that's what it's all about. And they really came on that meet saying, we can really do this and do really well. Plus, we're in a position where we can move up. So in the 8th place, all you can do is move up. And so they did a very nice job on that. And, the seniors is what you really, all coaches feel the same way. You want the seniors to have their very finest year possible because it's it for them for high school sports and that particular sport. And I think the greatest blessing I received from this season, regardless of wins or places or anything like that, were the smiles from the seniors. I mean, just really how not only do they enjoy each other, but they really accomplished a significant results.
A couple of other guys who were in the meet and the relays were Zach House and Andrew Sturgeon. And Andrew also was there in an individual event and swam well.
Andy Sturgeon did great. Now, the fly, he really had, he qualified 16th, and now I can just move up. And as you said before, the fly is so tight. It's unbelievable. And again, he just came through very nicely. And the relays, he's really a relay swimmer. His medley relay fly was very nice. 400 freestyle, he dropped about 2 seconds. And we kind of expected him to do that because he is so strong.
I've got to have you tell the story about what the meet marshal approached you about at the end of the day.
Well, it's a celebration for the whole community. But, really, it is neat when we do talk a lot about how people do watch what you do, and they do take notice when you do it right. And Jake Fisher was a guy. When he finished his race, he shook hands with every person came off the podium in the 400 freestyle relay. And the lady that noticed this is Mrs. Luke. She's from Stillwater. Her husband has won state many times. Stillwater's a tremendous swimming school, and she just said, I've never seen anything like that before at a state meet. She's been to every state meet. And, it's amazing how things like that, and people take notice of that. And we really encourage our kids to shake hands after every race, which is not common in swimming. Sometimes they have to actually get out of the water and chase a person down. They do it at the state meet. And they'll come over and they'll kind of grab the guy by the shoulder. The guy thinks we're going to hit him or something. We're not. We're just going to shake his hand. So, but it is uncommon. But it makes a difference. And we tell our boys that someday, and our girls, that someday you're going to be working with these people. You never know. It's a really small world. You could be down at the University of Minnesota taking a graduate class someday, and right next to you is somebody you compete with, either on the court or else in the pool. And you want to make sure you have a good impression because they might be your colleague.
Very good, Tom. Anything else you want to say in closing about the season?
No, it's just, it's a dream season. It's fun. I've coached a lot of years, and if I keep having seasons like this, I'll coach for a number of years yet. I mean, it was an easy team to coach, and I have great coaches that work with me. Brad Childs is incredible. Joyce Monk, of course, even though she's not our girls' coach, our boys' coach, she really works well with our programs and gives me a lot of insight. Of course, Mike Hartwell is pretty incredible.
So are you, Coach Uvaas. Thanks very much. Tom Uvaas of the Otter Boys Swimming and Diving Team.